Europe's record-breaking summer heat is no longer just a weather story. It is becoming an economic one. Now, a latest analysis by Triodos Bank estimates extreme heat and wildfires could cost the European Union around $208 billion this year, roughly 1% of the bloc's GDP. And that is significant because it is almost exactly the amount of economic growth the EU was expecting in 2026. Now, Europe is in the grip of repeated heat waves, with extreme temperatures, drought and wildfires putting pressure on economies across the continent. The economic damage is estimated at around 180 billion euros in 2026, equivalent to about 1% of EU GDP. Now, the European Union had been expecting roughly 1.1% economic growth this year. So in simple terms, the heat could wipe out almost an entire year's expected growth. The biggest hit comes from something many people may not immediately associate with extreme heat: productivity. Once temperatures rise above roughly 25 to 30 degrees Celsius, people become less productive, particularly in physical demanding work and outdoor jobs. Now, one analysis cited by Triodos estimates that for every degree above 30 degrees Celsius sustained over several days, output per hour worked can fall by around $3 or 3%. Now, that means fewer hours of effective work and less economic output. Agriculture is also taking a hit. Lower crop yields and reduced dairy production are expected to contribute around 0.15 percentage points to the EU's GDP loss. And when production falls, food prices can rise, adding another layer of pressure on households. Heat and drought are also disrupting Europe's energy and transport systems. Low water levels can restrict hydroelectric generation and make it harder to cool some thermal and nuclear power plants. Well, at the same time, solar efficiency falls during extreme heat, while electricity demand rises because people use more cooling. The transport is another problem. Low water levels on major rivers such as the Rhine and Danube means vessels may have to carry lighter loads. Those disruptions, which are estimated to add another 0.15 percentage points to the EU's economic loss. And the impact varies sharply from country to country. France is expected to be the hardest hit among major EU economies, with heat potentially reducing its growth by 1.4 percentage points, enough to push the French economy into an estimated 0.6% contraction this year. The Netherlands could lose around 0.8 percentage points of growth, potentially leaving its economy virtually stagnant. There is also a human and environmental cost that GDP figures do not fully capture. An estimated 20,400 heat-related deaths occurred across France, Germany, Spain and Italy during the June heat wave alone. And by last week, wildfires had burned more than 490,000 hectares across the EU, more than twice the 20-year average of about 197,000 hectares. The research says adaptation, including changing working hours, improving buildings, expanding air conditioning and adapting agriculture, could reduce productivity losses by around 40%. But the warning is clear. Extreme heat is no longer simply a summer inconvenience. It is increasingly affecting how much Europe produces, how much it pays for food and energy, and ultimately how fast its economies can grow.